the first teams from all of Karnataka who were doing this.
Haribo.
So we also was part of it. No, it didn't get checked. Plan was actually to catch it till now, but somehow yes, yes. Most people will enjoy next week. It's magnificent and numbers were very difficult. This food they were rejecting, but from the very actually, we planned again, we approached the schools. Like in the school touched 10,000. Bangalore was 6,000. A huge score. One more book it takes longer, but so let us all welcome Prabhuji. I want to loudly chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यनामोपनिषदं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणानन्दं सजीवम् अद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनानां कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविकास नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय तले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी आश्रमदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरवाणी नमः। हे कृष्ण लीलाबंधु जगन्पते गोपिका सुते तप्तकांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते चरणमामि हरे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna. So I'm very thankful for giving me an opportunity to come here and glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. I think this is the first time, So I'm very honored, very grateful that what you call as I could get all of your association. So today we'll be discussing from Bhagavatam Canto 2nd, chapter 2nd, text number 5.
Zoom link shared.
I don't know.
Okay.
Table is there. Table is set. It will work. You can change also. So we'll be discussing Bhagavatam 2.2.5. So this section is very important. I think what you call is in the last days also this chapter has been discussed, right? So this chapter is very important, especially to understand how important what to prioritize in spiritual life. what you call is bhakti is not so easy, it's up and down is there. So especially when a lot of allurements come, especially what you call is when so much of money is getting credited in the bank account every month. So what kind of mindset we should have? Yesterday I was telling one new boy, he had come from. So yesterday one student was there in temple. So I just said him, he telegram also. How is the Bangalore environment? He's from West Bengal. Uh, so can I the Pro's son? So he said, Proji, मौसम पता नहीं, लेकिन mindset बहुत अच्छा है Proji. I was like, okay, he's going good, he's developing good understanding of Krishna conscious. So this chapter gives us what kind of mindset we should have when we are practicing bhakti, especially when we are engaged in uh, activities where there are fruits or results coming for the work that we are trying to do. So this is going to help. We will discuss what is that. So please repeat this verse. चिराणि किं पतिना सन्ति दिशन्ति भिक्षाम् नैवाग्निप्रह परभृतः शरितोऽप्यसुष्या तोऽप्यसुष् रुद्धा गुहाः किम् अजितो अवतिनोपसन्ना कस्मात् भजन्ति कवयो धन दुर्मदान्धम् चिराणि किं पतिना सन्ति दिशन्ति भिक्षा नैवाग्निप्रह परभृतः शरितोपशुष्या रुद्धा गुहा किम् अजितो अतिनुपस्सानम् कस्मात् भजन्ति कवयो धनदुर्मदान्धम् Reading from translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So purport is a bit big, but many important things Prabhupada has mentioned. Especially this verse is very applicable for those who want to imbibe, kind of the mood of renunciation and what you call, especially for brahmacharis, for sannyasis, and even the grihasthas who want to live with the mindset of renunciation. So this purport is very powerful. What Prabhupada is bringing out. So all of you can. I think time will go in reading the purport itself than discussion. So devotees can hear attentively. Translation: As there are, as there no to, are there no torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the rivers, being dried up, no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountains now closed? Or, above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard earned wealth? Purport. The renounced order of life is never meant for begging or living at the cost of others as a parasite. According to the dictionary, a parasite is a psychopath who lives at the cost of society without making any contribution to that society. The renounced order is meant for contributing something substantial to society and not depending on the earnings of the householders. On the contrary, acceptance of alms from the householders by the bona fide mendicant is an opportunity afforded by the saint for the tangible benefit of the donor. It's not like when we give, we are favoring the person. When we give, it's for whose benefit? Our own benefit. In the Sanatana Dharma institution, alms giving to the mendicant is part of a householder's duty.
And it is advised in the scriptures that the householders should treat the mendicants as their family children and should provide them with food, clothing, etc. without being asked. Pseudo mendicants, therefore, should not take advantage of the charitable disposition of the faithful householders. The first duty of a person in the renounced order of life is to contribute some literary work for the benefit of human being in order to give him realized direction towards self-realization. Amongst the other duties in the renounced order of life of Srila Sanatan, Srila Rupa, and the other Goswamis of Vrindavan, the foremost duty discharged by them was to hold learned discourses amongst themselves at Seva Kunj, Vrindavan, the spot where Sri Radha Damodar temple was established by Srila Jiva Goswami and where the actual Samadhi tombs of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami are laid. For the benefit of all in human society, they left behind them immense literatures of transcendental importance. Similarly, all the acharyas who voluntarily accepted the renounced order of life aimed at benefiting human society and not at living a comfortable or irresponsible life at the cost of others. However, those who cannot give any contribution should not go to the householders for food. For such mendicant ask for such mendicants, asking bread from the householders are an insult to the highest order. Sukdev Goswami gave this warning especially for those mendicants who adopt this line of profession to solve their economic problems. Such mendicants are in abundance in the age of Kali. When a man becomes a mendicant willfully or by circumstances, he must be of firm faith and conviction that the Supreme Lord is the maintainer of all living beings everywhere in the universe. Why then would he neglect the maintenance of a surrendered soul who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord? A common master looks to the necessities of his servant, so, how much more would the all powerful, all opulent, Supreme Lord look after the necessities of life for a fully surrendered soul? The general rule is that a mendicant devotee will accept a simple, small lion cloth without asking anyone to give it in charity. He simply salvages it from the rejected torn cloth thrown in the street. When he is hungry, he may go to a magnanimous tree which drops fruits, and when he is thirsty, he may drink water from the flowing river. He does not require to live in a comfortable house, but should find a cave in the hills and not be afraid of jungle animals, keeping faith in God who lives in everyone's heart. The Lord may dictate to tigers and other jungle animals not to disturb his devotee. Haridas Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used to live in such a cave, and by chance, a great venomous snake was a co partner of the cave. Some admirer of Thakur Haridas who had to visit the Thakur every day feared the snake and suggested that the Thakur leave that place. Because his devotees were afraid of the snake and they were regularly visiting the cave, Thakur Haridas agreed to the proposal on their account. But as soon as this was settled, the snake actually crawled out of its hole in the cave and left the cave for good before everyone present. By the dictation of the Lord, who lived also within the heart of the snake gave preference to Haridas and decided to leave the place and not disturb him. So, this is a tangible example of how the Lord gives protection to a bona fide devotee like Thakur Haridas. According to the regulations of Sanatan Dharma institution, one is trained from the beginning to depend fully on the protection of the Lord in all circumstances. The path of renunciation is recommended for acceptance by one who is fully accomplished and fully purified in his existence. This stage is described also in the Bhagavad Gita as Daivi Sampat. A human being is required to accumulate Daivi Sampat or spiritual assets. Otherwise, the next alternative, Asuri Sampat or material assets, will overcome in disproportionately, and thus one will be forced into the entanglement of different miseries of the material world. A sannyasi should always live alone without company, and he must be fearless. He should never be afraid of living alone. Although he is never alone, the Lord is residing in everyone's heart, and unless one is purified by the prescribed process, one will feel that he is alone. But a man in the renounced order of life must be purified by the process. Thus, he will feel the presence of the Lord everywhere and will have nothing to fear, such as being without any company. Everyone can become a fearless and honest person if his very existence is purified by discharging the prescribed duty for each and every order of life. One can become fixed in one's prescribed duty by faithful oral reception of Vedic instructions and assimilation of the essence of Vedic knowledge by devotional service to the Lord. Yeah. So we see in the Bhagavatam, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells, in the starting of this chapter 2.2.1, 2.2.2, he clearly mentions that people in this world think, I will do my karma and I will do some sacrifices. I will engage in some charity. By this, my life is settled. I don't have to fear the pain of this material world because I'm engaged in some sacrifices. I don't have to engage in any kind of austerity. I will just give, what you call is, I'll just do the sacrifice, I'll just engage in dana, and I'm going to be taken care. Here it's mentioned, the people in the Vedic times, they will just think like that and think that they'll go to heavenly planets and enjoy. But whereas say in our understanding, sometimes this kind of mentality can also come that I will just do some kind of sacrifice and live my own kind of fruity life. That is done, I'm going to be happy. So there to decry that, no, that is not sufficient. Rather, one also has to understand, just giving charity is not sufficient. Rather, it's also very important to imbibe the mindset or the quality of vairagya. It's very, very important to undergo penance, to undergo tapasya is also very much important part on the path of spiritual life. So to tell that he's giving all these things, he, what you call is, one also has to develop this kind of this one. So in the Bhagavatam 11th canto, it is mentioned, somebody may think, if I go to heavenly planets, done, I'm going to be happy. No, it is rather, we see in the Bhagavatam how much even devatas also undergo suffering. Correct na? Correct na? I'm reading the section of Samudra Manthan Leela. How much Indra has to undergo, difficulty to get back his post and position. It was so difficult for him. So even a person who thinks like that, the example is given. If you know locust attack, have heard of locust attack? That we tell grasshopper midite, देखा है आपने? Grass, what you call, grasshopper, kind of we call tatun kudre, call, they attack the whole field, and they call swam attack also, they tell, I think. So sometimes what happens, the farmer has grown lot of fields, lot of yield he has grown, and nicely the fruits have come in the in the fields very nicely, and another sometime he has to go for harvesting, and he's so happy thinking, in another sometime, what I'm going to do this harvest, and all the fruits whatever I have grown, I am going to get so much of field, so much of good. He's thinking in some time, it's going to ripen, it's going to ripen, and suddenly what happens? There is a locust attack. There is a locust attack, and I don't know whether you know or not. When locust attack happens, you will not even see the, what you call, the stem of the plant also. Literally down to the ground they eat. How many days? How many weeks? Within few hours. Within few hours, everything is destroyed. I mean, this example is given by Bhagavatam 11th canto. It's completely destroyed. So similarly, in this world, a person who is dependent on fruitive activities, he may think, what, I have so much, I have accumulated so much, I have worked hard so much to get so much of this. But it is only you might have heard in the Bhagavatam, just in 2.2.2, it's an dream. It's a dream. A person is sleeping, and in the dream he gets, he has done that. He's done. As soon as he woken up, everything is gone. So similarly, what you call is in this life. You see, recently, there was this deputy chief minister, going there, going here. I did that. I did this. So many what you call votes I have got. So many assembly seats we won, etc., etc., etc. So much of this. Suddenly, what happened one day? He was going in the flight. He was going in the jet. I hope all of you know this. Many of you don't know. Many of you don't. We will give you update. We are there to update you on all these things. This person, was known, what you call is changing parties, doing that, doing this, nothing, hardly, but, became deputy chief minister. Deputy chief minister means what not, when you come, 10, 15 boleros, Scorpios come behind you, so much, it boosts the what you call it makes the balloon bulge, so much bigger. The story of that frog, right? And so big in the well. But what happened one day? It bursted, it bursted. So he was going on. But what happened, one day he has to go for some meeting, meeting some people and all that. And he was coming in the jet, and the jet was about to take down. In the first go, it did not land, and in the second one when it came, gone. In the second burst it went. I don't know whether they found his body also or not in that. Fire burned. Now you just think, I mean, what kind of world is this? And how many people haven't we seen in the material world who were like that and suddenly gone away, at one particular point of time? Yes or no? So if this is the situation of the material world, what is the real thing that we have to build upon? Where is the real investment that we have to make upon? Correct na? So to emphasize that, he's telling here, we have to depend on, we have to work upon self realization. You have to work upon self. Another example that is also given in the 11th canto Bhagavatam is, every person in this world is just like that person who is going to be hanged in another few minutes. What you call is the death statement is already been said that you are going to be sentenced to death. And usually in another few hours, sentence to death is there. They ask, what wish do you have? And they bring all the different dishes in front of him: masala dosa, paneer tikka, paratha. All the items are brought in front of him. You eat whatever you want, enjoy, because however you are going to die in few. Do you think he can taste all that food stuff? Can he taste? Will it be tasty? Will it be tasty? Uh-huh. Correct, no? I mean, Bhagavatam tells, I'm remembering the photos, what I have put, the face of that person who is going to be hanged. If you see the person, my God, very, 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 very painful to see. So Bhagavatam tells, every person's situation in this world is just like that person who is going to be hanged in few hours. And maybe only thing is, the only difference is the distance. Who is standing how much far from that, the rope that is there. Some may be just 1 meter away, some may be some few meters away. Correct? So in this kind of situation, what are we supposed to do? So what you call is, in the 2.2.4, in the previous verse, Prabhupada very beautifully puts that the human energy that is there in all of us is supposed to be utilized for self-realization and not sense gratification. It's supposed to be used for some devotees are not telling the word self-realization. I don't know whether I spoke something wrong or what. The human is supposed to be utilized for self-realization. Correct, na? So self-realization means all these aspects are going to come. So we see, we celebrated Gaur Purnima. The purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming to this world is to teach two things. What are they? So it is mentioned in the verse number Antilila 6.2.6.220. You may know this verse, you would have heard of this verse also. This also, and one more, what is that? Yeah, please repeat this verse. महाप्रभुर भक्त गणेर वैराग्य प्रदान यह देखि प्रीत हैया गौर भगवान. So he's telling the one of the foremost special quality of the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is what? Vairagya Pradhan. So how many of us want to become the most, what you call is very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? All of us. Correct, na? All of us, it's very important. So if that is the goal, and we know that the only hope of Kali Yuga is what? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the process or the way for that is what? To develop this quality. What is that? Vairagya Pradhan. So this is a very, very integral part of bhakti. We cannot put it aside. I can do some goody wishy-washy devotional service and I will attain the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, because along with Mahaprabhu, who is present? Nityananda Prabhu. No, it's not like that. Rather, what you call is they all teach us that is we have to develop the aspect of this Vairagya. It's very, and it's mentioned here. Yahadeki Prita Haya Gaura Bhagavan. So, if you know, there is one devotee, I mean, there is a Maharaj called as uh, uh, Chaitanya, Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. His holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. Heard of Maharaj name? His holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. So, Maharaj was telling us in 2018 when we had gone for GB service in Tirupati, he had taken one class. He was telling what the ISKCON was when he had joined. So he joined the ISKCON temple, and what you call is, there were almost some like 30 devotees, they were staying in the ISKCON temple. So morning 4:30 is the program. Here also 4:30. Here also it is 4:30. So Maharaj is telling, what you call is, there was one shower that was there, only one shower for all the 30 devotees, and they have to be there at 4:30 time. So all the devotees will stand in line. They all will stand in line. Every devotee will get 30 seconds to stand below that shower. That shower will be flowing continuously. One devotee has to go and stand below the shower for 30 seconds. And what you call is, Maharaj has joined for the first time, and it's the first day of the ashram. And he's thinking, what are they doing here? He was not doing all this. He was thinking, what they're doing here. And when his turn came, when he has to go inside the shower, in front of everyone again, everyone is there. He was asking, what am I supposed to do here? And by the time he asked like that question, 10 seconds has passed. The devotee who was standing behind, he said, Prabhu, only 10 seconds left for you. He was shocked, how he can take bath, in 10 seconds of the 30 seconds. So he has to stand, and he went. And then what happened? The custom that time was, the devotees used to wear saffron dress. You join ashram, you'll get saffron dress. That was a custom that time. No waiting period, no waiting list, no RAC also. Directly first AC coach, sleeper bed actually you'll get. So what had happened? All the devotees in the evening, they will put their dress. So it's not like, their dress has to wash themselves. They all will put their dress in one box together, and that will go for washing. That will go for washing. And next day, the what you call dhobi will wash all the clothes, stack nicely, and bring it. And nobody knows whose dhoti is where or whose kurta is where. You just go first, whatever kurta, whatever dhoti you find, you just pick it up and you wear for that day. You wear for that day. No, like, specific, this is only my dhoti, this is only my kurta, my name is written on this. Aisa kuch nahi. So Maharaj, what happened? He got the dhoti kurta, but the socks also were put like that only. So he was thinking, where is my socks? Yesterday I had put the socks. Where is my socks? So he was waiting. At the end, two socks remained, which were impaired. They were not pairing with each other. I was like, who took my socks? He was searching. Those devotees, those, who has taken my socks? I have got one. Another is lost. Where is one? Where is one? So in the afternoon, you found the temple president has worn the other pair of his socks. Huh? I mean it's like interchange. So he went to Maharaj. I mean, he went to that temple president and said, Ki, Prabhuji, That socks, what you're wearing is mine. That temple president said, so what? So what? That's okay, wearing the different socks like Maharaj said, this was the kind of culture that was means on the first day itself you are trained for Vairagya. Ki my kurta, my dhoti, my socks, my mobile charger, my laptop charger. ऐसे कोई आप आए अंदर तो लेके गए. I think nowadays, that's not the situation. Sometimes it happens, but devotees get hurt also so much. But this was a training that was there as so much. So we can understand in what kind of culture that was grown as. So we see the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what you call is showing us the life of Vairagya. It's mentioned Rupa Goswami when he was staying in Vrindavan. He used to when he used to go for begging alms. People sometimes used to give him cloth, new, purchased cloth. He will never wear the cloth fresh. He will go to Yamuna river and he will dig a hole in the earth on the bank of Yamuna and put the dhoti or gamcha inside the sand for 3 days. And after 3 days, he will come and take out that cloth, wash it, and wear it so that it doesn't look fresh. So, can you think that was the kind of standard that our acharyas have set to show how much important is? How much important is Vairagya? So, I'm just giving the examples so that we could relate to philosophy. There was one devotee in, see, our all Goswamis stand for this Vairagya principle. Just recently, I also heard one pastime from Shirangam. So I hope all of you like to hear some Shirangam pastime. I'm touched with the life, examples of some of the acharyas. So there is one devotee called Venkatadri Swami. So this pastimes happened just maybe 250 300 years before. So this Venkatadri Swami was living somewhere in Andhra Pradesh. So he heard the glories of Varda Swami, Varadaraj Swami in Kanchipuram. So he, what you call is gave everything up and he joined Brahmacharya ashram of Ahobilam Mutt. So when he was living there, suddenly he heard the glories of Varadaraj from Kanchipuram and he traveled all the way and came here. And when he was staying there in the temple, Varadaraj Swami, so there what happened, Lord Varadaraj came in the dream of Venkatadri. And he said, Venkatadri, I know that you're going to make very wonderful kiritas. Kirita, crown. So can you please make one kirita for me? Make one kirita for me. Now tell me, Venkatadri, what is he doing? He's there in the temple, cooking, bringing water, etc., etc. And what Lord is asking? Crown made up of not made up of cardboard thermocol, no, made up of diamonds, pearls, sapphires, jewelries, gold. How will you bring? How will you bring? Now say somebody asks us, we'll think, Are Prochi, I am I'm like this. Now can you ask me, Lord? So Venkatadri became so happy. He said to the Lord, Yes, Lord, I will do. And every day he thought, however I am there, I don't know anything to do as such. So let me do Sankirtan, and whatever little bit of money will get, I will accumulate that and make the crown for the Lord. So every day he used to sit begging on the street doing kirtan. I mean, you'll just do kirtan because he thought, the Yuga Dharma is kirtan, and I know only this, only one this profession only I know. I don't know any other profession. I will do this whatever Lord inspires and send. I will engage it. So every day he will sit like that, and used to do kirtan. And his goal was what? Unless he does not get 10 rupees, he will not eat anything. So you can see here, the test. It's not like, okay, nicely I will do and I'll go and sit, and at the end of the day nothing comes. Lord, nothing came. Okay, I'll continue. So he sat every day and 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees he collected, and with that he made a kirita for Varadaraj Swami. And when that kirita was offered to Varadaraj was so happy. I mean, what you call is, if you know the majesty of South Indian temples, like, they want to appear very grand. So whenever Varadaraj used to go on Palak, he used to, like, wear this kirita and showed to everyone, see how beautiful is my kirita made by Venkatadri. And suddenly when this was happening, Bhudevi and Sridevi started feeling jealous. Lord, you are wearing such nice jewel and crown, and when we are growing, your brightness is so much everywhere. We are looking very, very dark, we are not, so much, seen upon the headlights are not upon us. So we also want this kirita, like this. So they said we'll also ask Venkatadri to make kirita for both of us also. Then Varadaraj said, no, no, no. You see, the devotee gave me. You take this kirita only. Huh? What? Your kirita? Your head is so big. Our head is so small. How will this kirita? We want our own kiritas. Again, they both appeared in the dream of Venkatadri and said, Venkatadri, for our Lord, you gave such wonderful kirita. How did you forget us? Should make kiritas for us. He said, Mother, the kiritas what I have made for the Lord belongs to you also. You can also wear that kirita. He said, no, 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 no. We want our own kiritas. Our own kiritas. So Venkata said, okay, if it is that is your order, I'll make it. Again, he stood on the road, again did begging, 10 rupees. Unless he doesn't get, 10 rupees, he'll not eat that day food. And again, he made jewelries for Bhudevi and Sridevi and gave it. And suddenly, what you call Bhudevi, Sridevi, Varadaraj with these beautiful kiritas. Even today, you can see that kirita being made. Just, 300 years. So gorgeous. And this news spread. And this news reached to the Lord sitting in Chennai. In Chennai, who is sitting? Lord Partha Sarthi. There is one deity of Lord with a mustache and holes on the face. That is Parthasarthi, who is riding the chariot of Arjuna. So this news, hey, Venkatadri has made some beautiful kiritas. It seems, I also want that kirita. So Parthasarthi appeared in the dream of Venkatadri is present in Kanchipuram to come to Chennai and make kiritas for him. And Venkatadri became so happy, Lord is calling me, and he went asked, Lord, what do you want? He said, I want kirita. No financial support, huh? Just asking only here. Who is asking? Lord is asking. And he's not Venkatas in bewilderment. अरे बाप रे ये मैं क्या कर दिया पूरा मेरा पूरा जो भी को काली कर दिया इन लोगों ने पकड़ के मेरा. It was not like that. So he went there again. He sat on the road, 10 rupees, till the end, begged, and got and made a wonderful kirita for Parthasar. And again Parthasarthi was looking so good. The news spread and reached Namperumal. Reached Namperumal. Namperumal is present where? In Srirangam. So Ranganath Swami, got the news that there is one devotee called Venkatadri who makes amazing kiritas, it seems. I also want the kirita. So now Lord appeared in the dream of Venkatadri, who was staying in Chennai, and said, come, I have much better offers for you. Come to Kanchipuram, come to Srirangam. I'll give you all the facilities required for you, but I want kirita. And what you call is asked for the kirita. And Venkatadri stayed, again on the roads of Srirangam, begging alms. And some king came and all, seeing the devotion, and they gave all the jewelries and all. And still, there were some jewelries left to be put. For that, again, Lord arranges in some other place. If you know this alvar called as Kurat alvar, the alvar who holds kartal in the hand. Who is it called? Kurat alvar. There's one more devotee also. There was one more devotee. So Lord arranges, for those jewelries himself also. So he comes, he makes, and some ornaments were left. So he tells that one devotee in present in one more place, what you call is offer, because he was taking all those ornaments to Vardara Swami, but he said, no, don't give to Namperumal said, no, don't give to Varadaraj. Come and give to me here to the devotee. I want all the ornaments. All the ornaments. He went arranged and so hearing this again, Lakshmi Devi in Srirangam said, I also want a kirita. So again she came in the dream and said, so this devotee's whole life service was just making kiritas for the Lord. Again another Lord, if you know this Kallalagar in Madurai, if you know there is a Lord called Kallalagar who gives darshan like this. Is they make nas, they make whistle, right? They make the sill, and so Lord is giving darshan, blinking the eyes, winking they call, winking the eyes, and giving the sill to attract the devotees. See how beautiful I look. Somebody is coming darshan. I'm inside. Lord is like that. So he calls the devotee again there to make the critter. So this is the life of what you call is renunciation. So now tell me, do you think these devotees are बाप रे क्या हर दिन मुझे रोड पे बिठा रहे हैं ना भिक्षा के लिए? Do you think is he thinking like that? He was in bliss. Whenever Lord used to feel so amazing, oh Lord is asking me, for this service, let me take. So the mood of renunciation, or the mood of what you call this mindset of vairagya is to be engaged in the service of the Lord more and more and more. So the best example we find in our parampara is Raghunath Das Goswami. What not wealth he had. When Raghunath Das Goswami will get up in the early morning from his bed when he gets up, they will put lotus petal flowers from his bed till bathroom. That path. They'll put lotus petals, they will arrange lotus petals so that as soon as he can put his feet on those lotus petals and walk to bathroom. ऐसे कोई है क्या प्रभु आजकल बाथरूम के लिए? When he wants to go out, for his royal palace, there are 4 doors on the, south, north, east. 4 doors are there. All the palakis will stand on the 4 doors. Whichever door he decides, there is car, waiting there to pick him up. ऐसा कोई है? When you want to go, there are 10 doors, to the home, and there are 10 cars, arranged. ऐसा कोई है? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. So that was the kind of opulence that he was getting. And what not he got. He was married, to the beautiful. But what was his mood? So one day, Yadunandan Acharya took him, to the place where Haridas Thakur had come in the cave. He was doing, and when Raghunath Das Goswami had gone to that village to take darshan of Haridas Thakur, he said, "Oh, though I have everything, I don't have anything. The real wealth is not in me, rather this person has the real wealth." What was the real wealth that Haridas Thakur was having? The taste in chanting the holy names of the Lord. He said, the wealth what I want to accumulate is this wealth. This wealth, what Haridas Thakur had. So this is, how great. What is the only reason that Haridas Thakur had gone there? To give this kind of association. So when sadhus, what you call is the give association and accept something, it's not, we should think that, I am doing some favor for the person. Rather, we should think, oh my God, big burden has been taken away from me by, now by allowing me to serve. If you see the Lakshmi, what you call is, what is the vehicle of Lakshmi? Owl. So usually if you see owl, in which time it is awake? Night time. So somebody who thinks, with all this I can be happy is like, what you call associating or coming the category of these owls who are awake in the night, not able to sleep. Tell me how many people, rich people, what you call is who have so much of wealth, but still telling that I don't find any happiness, in my life. Somebody recently was showing me some golf person, very highly achieved golf, what you call, they put that golf, ball. Very, very, what you call is highly achieved he was. And after coming for the press meeting, he tells, okay, few minutes I attained that. Now what? Now what? Okay, I am the top person. 9,99,999 people go for this. Out of that, 99,900 people select for this. Then this, then this, 9 people are selected for that, what you call, Wimbledon tennis or, whatever, etc., etc. And one person, I got that. I got the trophy. Now what? These are the kind of questions that they're asking. People, the richest person, is putting message what? Those people who have said that, wealth cannot purchase happiness. There is some truth in that, This is kind of the people, the kind of realization that they are, telling as such. So what is as such that we have to hanker upon, these things that is going to help. So, owl usually what you call indicates kind of problems that one will get in the night time. So the only way Lakshmi will be happy is with the Narayana. So this person has come, in my life so that I can relieve of this, burden, from me. That is a kind of because nowadays people are asking questions. अरे क्या, प्रभु जी एकदम बड़ा बड़ा कार में घूमते हैं, बढ़िया, वाह, प्रभु जी एकदम बड़ा बड़ा कार में घूमते हैं, बढ़िया दिखते हैं ड्राइविंग करते हुए समय पे, है ना? People pass such kind of comments, what you call is the कि प्रभु जी के पास वो है, प्रभु जी के पास ये है, प्रभु, I mean, what you call is the I'm telling this because we know what it is. So what you call is, it's just the mood of, service. It's not, it's psychopath, proposal selling. It's not, kind of to exploit. See, actually, if you know, they could have been, in their own world completely, and many times the purpose with what understanding we come to, the purpose with what, people take to the mendicant life will not stay, for the long time the same thing. Rather, they have to get into so many responsibilities. Once His Holiness Tamal Krishna Swami Maharaj was there here in India, Prabhupada had made him GBC. Maharaj said, Prabhupada, uh, just, I want to go to America. He said, Prabhupada said, no, you have to stay in India only and be the GBC. GBC means, during 1970s, to be GBC of India, where you don't know how to deal with the local people. They want to exploit only management, money, cement bag. Only these things they have to count. Once Prabhupada was going to Vrindavan, Prabhupada showed the cane stick to one Maharaj behind. And they thought, oh, maybe Prabhupada is showing me some Radha Krishna, dancing, or, Radha Krishna in the swing, etc. They're thinking, Prabhupada is showing Radha Krishna. They're asking Prabhupada, where is Radha Krishna? Where is Radha Krishna? Prabhupada said, no, see the cement bag there, in the fields. It is so difficult to get cement because not World War, this India-Pakistan, fight was happening, 1970s. So I am thinking, how to get these cement bags. So I want all of you to, think about it. So they were thinking, this was what Prabhupada was. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Prabhupada, I cannot stand here in India anymore. I want to go to America and just be engaged in preaching over there. And literally Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was, putting his head on the chest of Prabhupada and he was crying tears. Ki allow me, allow me. Prabhupada said, no, you be here only at GBC. One amazing thing is you are not lost in Maya because of all these services. It is so happy to be aware that you are not lost in Maya. It's okay. So, this was the kind of training that what you call Prabhupada was expecting. So, it mentions in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahad Vichalanam Nrinam Grihinam Dina Chetasam. It is mentioned there that these great souls just walk so that, what you call it, we all could get an opportunity to be, engaged in the service of God. That is the only thing, and that is the only principle that is there. Yes, so exploiting this facility, if the pseudo mendicants come, that should not be taken advantage of. But the mood of, this as mentioned. So Raghunath Das Goswami, what you call is, after meeting Haridas Thakur, literally, what you call is, he was though he was filled with all those things, he was just wanting to run away and be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Going, and they were going and, bringing back. They were going, he was running away and they used to go and bring back. He was running. So when he was happening so much, what you call the wife of, the mother of Raghunath Das, what is as such, that is binding him? He said, he has got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the principle of Vairagya. So Nityananda Thakur, after meeting Nityananda Thakur, our Raghunath Das Goswami goes, to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So instead of taking the normal path, he takes the path of forest, where he traveled for 12 days continuously, and he only drank, glass of water and little bit 3 days once. That was, and when he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was so happy to see Raghunath Das Goswami. And if you see the Raghunath Das Goswami, it's not like he is wearing, 1 kg of gold chain, and he has this, he has nothing. He had torn clothes, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. And if you see Sanatan Goswami, he escaped from the jail, living everything up, And when he came with all the dhadi, nobody could recognize. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw, he was so happy, with the Sanatana Goswami. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw, he was so happy, and he said, "You have been saved from your fathers who are just like the stool in the pit. They're living that kind of life, but you have been saved, from that kind of life as such." So there, when uh, Raghunath Das Goswami, after some time, asks to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Can you please tell, what are the duties that I'm supposed to perform?" So there he gives 4 or 5 principles which are required for all of us to imbibe. See, I'm not telling what you call is only mendicants are supposed to be doing. No, actually, there is a concept of what you call is brahmachari, grahastha, brahmachari. There may be a brahmachari who could be living a life of grahastha, and there could be a grahastha who could be living a life of brahmachari. Both ways is possible as such. I say like, okay. But all of us have to be following the path of Goswamis. This mindset of what you call is very, very important to imbibe. So he asks who Raghunath Das, what is my duty that I'm supposed to do? So the first principle that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells is, you don't have to ask me this question. Already I have put you under Swarup Damodar Goswami. You can go and ask him. So here he is establishing the principle to be the servant of servant. है ना? So in our life, the first principle to develop this principle, this mindset of the renunciation, is to be connected to someone, is to be sheltered under someone where we can take regular guidance. है ना? So he's telling, you don't have to ask me these questions. You just ask Swarup Damodar Goswami, he will tell you. So nowadays, what has happened because of the age of Kali Yuga, people are so much affected from this, vices, from this Kali Yuga, that people doubt, the process. People doubt the authorities. People doubt this one. So once, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu was telling in one class, remember, nowadays the most what you call is very wrong thing that the devotees have developed is disrespect towards the superiors. One, he was telling this one thing which can destroy the spiritual life of a person is disrespect to the superiors, or doubting the superiors for what they want to do as such. Correct, no? Correct, no? So little bit of doubt we develop upon the superiors, thinking he is not wanting, what you call, something good out of me. Actually, what you call, nobody is here, what you call is behind the people to tell, you know, uh, I want you to become my follower, etc., etc. Actually, much, much more wonderful is what you just have, what you call beadbag, Bhagavatam, and little bit of, what you call harmonium or mridanga. You just sit in, you can practice, and little bit of, menial services you just keep doing. That is good enough. Nobody is there here. But what happens in the meanwhile? People develop this disrespect to the superiors and lose all the auspiciousness or the shubhada in their own life. That's gone. So this is the first principle that he establishes. The second principle that he establishes is uh, Gramya Vartana Shunibe. So the second, like anyone, we may be, what you call, we may be working also, correct? But still, how do we keep that, what you call is mentality? We are still close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the first principle is to be servant of servant, or having respectful, very wonderful. I can tell you, spiritual life is bliss, ecstatic if relationship with our superiors is wonderful. If there is a strain there, I can tell, spiritual life is mess. Or if you ask me, it's dark, or it's very painful. It's very bitter actually, because there is no someone with whom I can connect and open up my heart actually. Correct, no? Agree? Correct. Even all of you are grown up, that relationship is strained, gone. So we can do anything to keep up that relationship, and we should do anything to not to spoil that relation. Sometimes what happens on small petty purposes, we cost the relationship with the superiors actually. Correct, no? Sometime with respect to decisions, sometime with respect to opinions. He said, Prabhuji said, don't go for book distribution there, that's not good, you do it here. Then suddenly we develop, Prabhuji doesn't want me go distribute so many books, get my name in the top chart, it doesn't allow me to grow, etc., etc., etc. And what happens? All that is shown in the face and it comes out outside from thoughts to actions, spot, gone. And I can tell you, and ultimately, what happens? Whatever they tell, that only happens. But what? With what? Strain in the relationship. Is that required? It's not required. Actually, this principle, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, is very, very so. What you call it? We see all the Goswamis, all the parampara. You see, Prabhupada, my God, 30 years has happened, 40 years happened. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, has given instruction that much long time back. Still is upholding the principle of the instruction that he has given and following it. Can you see? He cried tears, in the class, telling, all of you are representatives of my spiritual master, and what all of you are there here to help me to assist my spiritual master. So because of this principle, how much Prabhupada could do in the whole world. So this principle is very, very important. I mean, I am telling this from both sides. I also have seen in my own life experiences where the relationship is strained and lost the whole blessings, the taste juice filled with, in the heart gone. And at the same time, just working, correcting ourselves and restraining the relationship, and everything is done. Everything is done. Everything, nothing is there, but still, very, very happy that because my superiors are happy. So this is very important. So second one is Gramya Vartana Shunibe. So this gossip mentality is very, very important that we have to give up. Kulshekar Alvar tells this shloka. What is the shloka? Ashcharyametad हि मनुष्यलोके सुधां परित्यज्य विषं पिबन्ति नामानि नारायण गोचराणि त्यक्त्वान्यवाच कुहकं पठन्ति. He's telling आश्चर्यमेतद्धि मनुष्यलोके. What kind of आश्चर्य is this मनुष्यलोके? Why? What are they doing? Sudham Parityajya. They give up nectar and drink Visham. Sudham Parityajya Visham Pibhanti Namani Narayana Gocharani Tektvanyavacha Koha. They don't want to engage in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, but they're happy to sit and do gossip. Many times what happens nowadays in the Sangha of the devotees, I have seen, sometimes kirtan is happening, wonderful discussion is happening, but somehow the mentality that we have got with respect to this principle is we are sitting somewhere in the room and doing gossip, wasting time. And somewhere in the heart, we are thinking, it's okay if I miss what? Kirtan. It's okay if I miss class. It's okay if I miss Mangalarti, but let me just check, WhatsApp status for. It's okay if I miss still Yasya Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada, but let me just, check the WhatsApp status, what devotees have put. These are things, that's coming up. So, what you call, we have to rise about this. If we are stuck somewhere here in this, we are not close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are very, very far from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the second principle. That is what the, what you call is trying to give gossip. It is said, in recently I was hearing from Maharaj, he was telling, when people come together, the first, what is the hot topic that they discuss always when people come together? When usually we devotees come together, what do we discuss usually? Generally, the faults of the other devotees. Prabhu, that devotee has done like this. Prabhu, this devotee. Okay, I mean, it's true, if you do statistically, generally, it is like that usually. I also observed this kind of, thing in mine also. So usually, we have tendency to talk about the faults of people. No. What is the second thing that people talk of? Much higher than that, they talk of place. They talk of place, or maybe they talk of prasad, or maybe they talk of ambience usually. And last thing that somebody wants to speak about is philosophy. प्रभु आज क्लास में क्या बताया हाँ ये थर्ड प्रायोरिटी में थे. फर्स्ट व्हाट दिस प्रभु क्या प्रभु क्लास इतना लेट कर दिया आपने. सेकंड इज व्हाट प्रभु क्या बोलते कि क्या कंपनी में जाना है टाइम हो गए. दिस इज सेकंड कैटेगरी. थर्ड कैटेगरी इज tattva, some getting people to. So if you can find someone who can discuss tattva with you, like it's ఆశ్చర్యం అవుతుంది మనుష్యులకి సుధాం పిబంతి విషం పరిత్యజ్య నామాని నారాయణ గోచరం దే ఆర్ ద రియల్ పీపుల్ very difficult to find during kulshaka time he was telling that is the ఆశ్చర్య presently is what this is the ఆశ్చర్య to find someone who can discuss krishna katha as well. So what you call is this is the second level that we have to work upon. Third level is he mentions simple life. ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಯ ವಾರ್ತನ ಶುನಿಬೆ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಯ ವಾರ್ತ ನ ಕಹಿವೆ ಬಲನ ಕೈಬೆ ಬಲನ ಪರಿಬೆ. So he's telling balana kaibe, living a simple life. It mentions. I think if I speak about prasadam, what to eat, what not to eat, these are the items a lot. I think that will be, what you call my aparad, I don't want to touch that part. I think that would have been covered sufficiently by the speakers present here. I think Raj would have covered sufficiently. I think I'll not touch upon. So third aspect is living a simple life, living a very very simple and satisfied life. So simple and satisfied life has many aspects to do. One very important and simple and this one is to practice austerity of body, mind and words, which in Bhagavad Gita Krishna speaks of. So what you call is it's a blessing that we are all staying like this here and learning from the what you call devotees to live a simple life. Correct, no? I mean, hardly neither you nor I can imagine that we are all sleeping on the foams. Sometimes I know devotees, what you call is nighttime they don't get anything, or they are so busy with the services. Wherever they do service, they lie down there only and get up in the morning, go for bath and come back. Correct? You might have seen, right? Devotees, wherever they are, they keep working, they keep doing service, they sleep there only without chatai or without what you call chadar. So it's a great success, Okay, and I mean, if you ask me before coming to Krishna conscious, for me to think, okay, for the last 10 years, I have not worn any color dress. Like a shock, never thought of somebody could imprint, so much of strong Krishna conscious. One is ready to, forego the colors in the life. Color, you understand, no? I mean, either outside, if you go, my God, people spend hours and hours inside the shopping malls to purchase, one cloth. I mean, I remember my own, what you call is birthday is there. I have to get a cloth. My God, what to brand, what color, etc., etc. So you see the kind of gift that has been given where so much of time is saved. Correct, na? So here we are. Now we should see how we can go much higher, much higher. So there are so gross we have come upon already, but there is subtle with respect to words and with respect to mind. So mind means what? Satisfied in all the situations, not complain for the things. Oh nahi hai, ye nahi hai, ye nahi hai. Like say for example, if say washing machine stops working in the center for 2 days, are we ready to still be happy situated? I mean, see, these are the realistic things. What I know is, happening usually. सुनते रहते होंगे इधर, If I tell to the in charge, Prabhu, let us off the washing machine for 2 days. Well, Prabhu ji, पूरा storm आ जाएगा voice में, ऐसे बोलते हैं devotees. Cannot think of, living a life of, those. Current is not there, hot water is not coming for 1 week. Huh? Wi-Fi is not there. I mean, Wi-Fi is required. I think otherwise, job, they'll throw you through them out. But say, what you call hot water is not. Am I happily situated? You understanding, no? So we have to work upon these aspects. How can I improve? How can I? So this, if we can improve, then I can talk about, fruits. If prasadam is not there, go out and eat fruits on the mango tree. If what you call pillow is not there, put your hands and sleep on the hand. If there's no place to sleep, find out some cave nearby and go and sleep. If water is not there, go to the sink and drink the water that is coming. Much better than somebody outside. Correct, no? ये थोड़ा ज्यादा हो जाएगा, but at least somewhere here if we can work upon, बेहतर है. Good it is. Yeah, maybe I think I'll stop it here, Rose. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells the ornament for a Vaishnava is simplicity, simple life. So if we can adopt a simple life, simple living and high thinking, with whatever the present things present, so it's glorious. Usually before devotees, getting married, they know this principle, but afterwards, everything, many things come and what you call the whole thing changes. So if we can keep the same mindset, even after that, it's a glorious. Before getting job, I know so many devotees in the voice. living such a nice, simple life. As soon as they get the highest package, I see them with cooling glass. Mm, cooling glass. I'm not telling cooling glass is wrong, but I'm telling there are some change that has happened. What you call is. I think I should not give the examples of devotees. That's not good. I mean, it happens actually when the money comes. Many things come as so. So we should understand what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes. Devotee who have this principle of Vairagya. Vairagya. If we adopt that, what you call, but at the same time, when mendicants, what you call is, are having the facilities, we should not become envious because that is for whose good? For our good. And if that mendicant misutilizes that which has been given in the service of the Lord, that will end up what you call, he'll become a brahmachari grahastha. He'll become a grahastha. Externally is, but is in the mindset. Grahastha in again not in kinds of that time telling. I mean, what you call is going to be down as so. What you call is these are some of the principles that we should learn. And Prabhupada has exemplified this principle of Vairagya in his own life. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the purpose he took sannyas is to exemplify this one, and all our parampara is this, and we coming in the same parampara should also try to adopt some of these principles in our own practice and grow in Krishna consciousness and become close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And every year, if we increase this principle of Vairagya in us, little, then what happens? We become very, very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for every Gaur Purnima we select. Otherwise, every Gaur Purnima will what happen? Will become very, very like, what you call, last साल, अभी भी लग रहा था अभी चला गया फिर से आ गया गौर पूर्णिमा फेस्टिवल ऐसे हो जाएगा होता है ना कभी कभी होता है ना कभी why because we are not developed that mood and that ठीक है so I'll stop it here time is up thank you very much again so I spoke all these things because I also can adopt these principles in somewhere some place I'm telling Rupa Goswami is putting cloth in the soil and maybe I'm wearing what you call is new dhoti kurta and sitting here and telling some of the things as such. But yeah, in principle, in meditation, we can adopt these things. That's very, very helpful as such. Okay? Let's stop there. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions, Prabhus? There should be a lot of, there should be some things which I would have not spoken.
Can I repeat that? The 3 levels of second level was topic.
Chatting. Third one is simple life.
What the purpose?
First one is to have some authority, some senior, some well-wisher guider who can help us to guide in our spiritual life. It's our all acharyas had, even Prabhupada in the absence of his spiritual master was connecting so much, correct? Na? So gives us the principle, how much, I just heard simplicity. What kind of simplicity I heard? His Holiness Jagatak Swami Maharaj, initially when he had been sent to Mayapur, there was no food to eat. You know what Maharaj used to do? Maharaj will go to the shops where they'll sell grains, right? He'll go there and tell big wholesale grains and tell, can you give me some sample? I'll check which one is the best sample and come and purchase. So he will take the sample and that sample was cooked and, filled the stomach and do the services. That was the kind of, what you call is I was heard, बाप रे ऐसा भी कोई हो सकता है क्या you go and bring the sample and that was the kind of penance that they have done and you see the determination that you see today correct no? You see his Holiness Ramdas Swami Maharaj what kind of tapasya that was did not sleep literally the Maharaj read books standing like this on the window but and doing so much of it and see today how they are so we have this principle Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes it very much. So they go to any extent to do that. These are the 3 things.
One more is like how much variety.
No, you should do as per your. So that's why you need guidance. So there, if you see Raghunath Das Goswami was the under guidance of Raghunath Das Goswami. Otherwise, you will do what on your own something. And you tell devotees ने मेरा health इतना खराब कर दिया क्या ऐसे लग रहा हो मुझे jaundice आया हुआ है tuberculosis आया हुआ है we tell like that but we should do as per our so if you have guidance so if you see Raghunath Das Goswami was under guidance and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was appreciating it very good correct na so for us sometimes what devotees may tell Prabhu today, you don't have to fast because again next week there are two fastings. That may be more important. You don't have to do this. If you do all the three fastings, you may collapse. So guidance is very important. Guidance will solve half of the, not half, 95% of the problems. 5% is like, here and there something, but solve most of the problems usually. If you ask me many times, whenever, I am in confusion, just ask, they tell whatever they tell to do, you do with little bit of diligence, with little bit of intelligence, and you continue. And what you call is after that. Somewhere you don't understand, you clarify the things properly, with etiquettes, respect followed, and things will get solved. Otherwise, what happens unnecessarily? We end up, we end up in chaos. We end up in lot of what you call kind of, um, coming to a point where we are more stuck in the material world than coming out. Usually, when we don't take proper guidance.
What about devotee choosing material comfort not in enjoyment?
To ease?
Day to day.
Oh, acha, है क्या? See, I mean, he's asking, what is asking? How to?
What about devotee choosing material comfort and not in enjoyment? But to day to day.
See, again, is this day-to-day life means with what? Is it with respect to devotional service or what? Like, see, for example, we also use the, what you call it, the assets, not for comfort, but for service. So is it easing is for service or again one's own, sense gratification? So that is bit more higher level of sense gratification than the comfort. What is being, if Krishna is not. But if Krishna is there, first it is always good we develop Vairagya, then to go for Yukta Vairagya. If you don't practice Vairagya and directly adopt Yukta Vairagya, telling this is for Krishna's service, then we will end up, it's actually not Krishna, it is what? Maya's service, actually it is. Correct, na? So, what you call is, we may tell, I am renting this car for service, but it may be for sense gratification. So, we have to be little bit careful, what you call is, whether what we are accumulating is for my own or not. Usually, what happens if it is not, we will hear, some talks here and there. People telling, Prabhu, aapne aise, Prabhu, aise. Then we can just check with our seniors whether it is really for sense gratification or self-realization. But one thing we have to be, Prabhupada, if you have read the previous purports, Prabhupada has mentioned there, nowadays, cars, industry, correct? In the previous purports, if you have read, car, industry, wealth, all these are aspects of Maya. One should be very careful. Prabhupada mentions in the previous purport actually. So if that is the case for all of us being in this moment, I have to be really very cautious, how do we utilize, especially if you ask me, what you call is Prabhupada tells. See, one thing Prabhupada tells, you give 50% discount. I mean, not discount, 50% you give donation. Then you tell Prabhupada, we cannot stay in the outside world. Then Prabhupada, yes, that's why we're telling, if you give that much, you can stay inside the temple and practice devotional service. I was hearing from Radhesham Prabhu. You know what happened in the past in Delhi, in Vrindavan and all, people got the deities, everything. And because of selfish, so much of land these deities had. Because of the selfish desire, they sold out all those lands and they kept all the deities in one temple. You see Radha Damodar temple. How many deities? How many deities? 6 deities are there standing inside. Correct? Correct? Radha Damodar, Radha Child Chicken, Radha Madhav, Radha, all of them are standing. Why? They all had their own thing. All the property had been, what you call is eaten up or swallowed, and they all brought in the same thing so that they can accumulate the wealth because of misutilizing this principle. Vairagya principle. Yeah? Stop here. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai.